What is happening, party people? This is Brett Jackson Boogie, Happiness in Retirement channel, coming at you. And today, I'm going to show you how to make some sauerkraut out of greens from the garden. I'm going to use my collard greens, and I'm going to use some Brussels sprout greens, which I cut, washed, and let dry out. And so, first thing you got to do is make a saline solution. 57 grams of salt with 8 cups of water. You just get it all nice and warmed up on the stove so that the salt dissolves. And then we'll go from there. Step 1, party people, is to cut the greens from the garden, wash them. These right here are Brussels sprout greens. These right here are collard greens. Look how huge those are. Cut them, wash them, and then dry them out. Now the next thing we're going to do is take the stems out from the leaves. I'm going to use those later on. I've made a video on fermenting these into crunchy, yummy snacks. We'll save those, and then we'll take the leaf after we take the stem out of it. We'll roll it up, and we're going to basically like julienne it into little sauerkraut-like slices, just like this. And there you go. And we'll get all our greens done like that, and we'll just shove them in a mason jar like this with the 3% salt water solution. And let's get after it. All right, so I got all the greens compacted into this mason jar. Now I'm going to take the 3% saline solution, which, by the way, I put garlic, ginger, peppercorn, salt, and red cracked pepper in, and I let it simmer so that it gets all that yummy flavor. Now I'm going to take it and fill up the jar with the saline solution so that it covers the greens, seal it up, let it sit on the counter for 4 or 5 days, and it'll ferment, and then you can put it in the fridge, and it'll last probably 6 months or so, and it's going to be delicious. All right, now that we got the greens all cut up and shoved into the mason jars, and we got our leftover spines here that we took out that we're going to use later on in another recipe to make these nice and crunchy and yummy fermented. So now we're going to put the 3% brine solution in, and we're going to fill it up so that the leaves are completely covered. And you can see all those yummy spices going in there. Ooh, that's going to be good. 3% brine solution with garlic, salt, ginger, and some peppercorns. Yum. I'm going to leave a little bit of room so I can put some spices from the bottom of the batch into the jars. But it's filling up, they're filling up nicely. And there you have it. We're going to fill up to the top so that it gets over the greens. And then I'm going to put some spices from the bottom on top. So there you have it, people. Then you just put them on the counter. Let me get those spices out of the bottom here real quick. Some peppercorns and whatnot. Just put them in here. Some spices out of the bottom here. Peppercorns and red chili pepper flake. And then you just put the top on. Pretty, finger tight. Leave it on the counter for 4 or 5 days and it'll ferment. And then you can put it in the fridge and it'll last up to 6 months and it'll taste like yummy sauerkraut. Green sauerkraut. If you like my material, hit subscribe or go to the next video. Thanks and peace out.